Most people believe that Bitcoin will always be the most important cryptocurrency. This doesn't make sense to me, especially given how close we are to rules and the application being the primary driver behind all of this. We need to discuss this, and we will do so in this video, especially if you own XRP, so stay until the end. And with that, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick, and if you're new to the channel, I hope by the end of this video you'll decide to subscribe. Let's get started and discuss what you already know about Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently has a market capitalization of $1.8 trillion. Many people are optimistic about Bitcoin and believe it will reach $1 million. They're going there and here. When it comes to Bitcoin, I've always been critical of when it was created. Okay, when I think about destiny, I don't think about the times. There is no age that takes minutes to register in my mind. It builds up gradually when I consider a challenge or technology. That is so new that I can send tens of millions of dollars for a very low fee and almost instantly, which is extremely inconsistent. If we believe that XRP was created specifically for this purpose, we know that Merrington Capital attempted to send $50 million using XRP and paid a fraction of what you will pay. On a small exchange, they talked to me about dollars. What I mean is, XRP is one of the best cryptocurrencies available, and DLT is here to help you send, receive, or simply conduct any type of transaction. Right now, XRP's market capitalization is $8.2 billion. On the other hand, I believe that XRP will eventually replace Bitcoin. Is this going to happen again? Probably not. That being said, I believe XRP will be a huge success, particularly in a controlled software push market where you do not set the prices. Michael Saylor stated on live TV that you understand Bitcoin goes to $1 million. As the market's hype and speculation phase ends, the most important factor determining price will be how widely adopted and used the networks are, which is determined by their efficiency. I'd like to go into more detail about this because as we look at what's going on right now, the most important thing to consider is whether or not international asset tokenization is real. This has been secured. Securitize has pretty much dominated the game. They were collaborating with institutions and some of the market's biggest players to transition it to a chain-by-chain basis via tokenization. We noticed that some of their players were already using them for tokenization jobs. Right here is BlackRock. In addition to Hamilton, Lane, and KKR, there are a few others. If we look closely at the view, we can see some of the other players who may be involved. A significant amount of tokenized money has already been used on a few very large networks. But I bring up stocks because you're already aware of how popular they are. For example, BlackRock launched the first tokenized fund in March, which is when we noticed it. This occurred within the Ethereum community through securities. At the time, many people were saying things like, "Oh my gosh, Ethereum will be the biggest thing ever." As we look at it now, big players like BlackRock may be dipping their toes in right now. A lot of this is just tens of millions or billions of dollars, but we haven't seen the real money yet. However, in May, Securitize announced a $47 million strategic investment round led by BlackRock, which also included other players. But most of you are already aware of BlackRock. This demonstrated that BlackRock was present and that they are investing almost exclusively in technology. It's for a good reason, which we will discuss shortly. But more importantly, the Securitize story demonstrates that real international assets are being tokenized. And they claim that in 2017, they believed blockchain technology would bring automation and liquidity to alternative asset transactions. They created Securitize because they knew time did not exist. And the entire timeline, beginning with 2024, was clearly visible here. Their value has rapidly increased, and they have emerged as a major player in the tokenization of almost everything. All around us, however, there are a few large universal boards of administrators, such as those from BlackRock and a few other companies. Take a look at their advisory board. This advice board is full of smart people. Tweets, Google Banks, Barclays, and the SEC-led JP Morgan balance things out right here. We also see that you are already aware of the latest commodity swap at the World Economic Forum. What's going on is kind of crazy, and the way James Wallace, Ripple's VP of Central Bank Engagements, does things is interesting. When we look at their buyers list, we can see that they have a very long one, and Ripple, for example, is represented by SBI shares. So it's clear that Ripple faces a very low risk in securing Securitize. Looking back 15 hours, we can see that Standard Chartered Zodiac has entered into a tokenization partnership with Securitize BlackRock's. Now that Zodiac Prison has signed up for security, we'd like to inform you that our partnership with Zodiac Custody provides institutional buyers with secure and legal storage options for tokenized items such as Croc Spittle. We're also bringing together or bridging traditional finance and virtual property to provide businesses with the tools they need to confidently navigate this changing market. They do mention down here that you are familiar with the cryptocurrency and tokenization markets, as well as how large those markets are expected to be overall. Will this grant people access to XRP? So let's discuss that. Ripple is beginning to follow Securitize. As an investor, Securitize provides one of the best ways to gain access to unique private market alternatives such as private equity, personal loans, and more. Furthermore, if we look over here, securities were at Ripple's swell return in the middle of October, which was attributed to the strength of tokenization in virtual technology. They are also on par with Northern Trust and Archix. And if you're familiar with Archix, you'll know that they recently announced a partnership with Ripple to launch the first tokenized cash market fund on the XRP ledger. Going back to the summer, they stated that they were also adding tens of millions to the XRP system. But I need to return to this because James Wallace agreed with them as well. And as I showed you earlier, we'll come down to James Wallace. He is below the board of directors or the advisory board. Sorry for building on that. We have a video from Ripple Swell. Carlos Domingo is the CEO and co-founder of Securitize. He discusses how tokenized funds are transforming the way money is handled. Securitize is putting the sector on the blockchain by registering ownership rights, allowing banks and traders to acquire real global assets. The future of tokens is now, which is why I founded the company and resigned in 2017. That marked the beginning of the first wave of interest in tokenization. After I started the business, my cryptocurrency became very small. It was once a $20 billion business, but it is now worth $2 trillion. At first, I thought that the same generation layer should be applied to everyday items to make them easier to purchase, cheaper, and easier to transact. This dates back to December 4th, 2023. Many people forgot about this. It goes all the way back to the Standard Charter from December of last year. Zodiac Custody has joined Ripple's global cryptocurrency storage community. Zodiac Custody has just signed a deal with security. Okay, and of course, Medico's Ripple Custody provides access to the entire virtual asset world right now. In case you don't know, the XRP system is used for everything related to tokenization and Ripple Custody. We've discussed this several times before, but keep in mind that Ripple paid for protection.